Hello everyone, how are you all? You are watching Appa Chemistry classes, myself Nagappa. So our today topic is hybridization concept. So now I have made already one more video on hybridization, which is present in organic reaction mechanism playlist. You once watched that one. So complete organic molecule. So what type of hybridization takes place? So what are the shortcuts we used in case of organic chemistry? So those I had explained there. Now in this class I am going to show you how to calculate hybridization as well as geometry of the molecule with more number of example in case of inorganic molecule. I will explain some of the organic molecules also. You try to watch till the end. Okay na? So let's get into the video. Now hybridization. So hybridization means what? Once again you all know. Once again I am repeating the definition of hybridization. It is a phenomena of intermixing of atomic orbital to get the equal energy containing hybrid orbital. That phenomena of intermixing of atomic orbital to get the equal energy containing hybrid orbital is called what? Hybridization. Is that clear? Hybridization. So by intermixing of atomic orbital, those atomic orbital should be what? Nearly same energy, not equal energy, nearly equal. So those atomic orbitals are mixed, then what happens? Equal energy containing hybrid orbitals will get. So how many atomic orbitals you are going to mix? Those many hybrid orbitals you will get. So here how many hybrid orbitals? Based on the hybrid orbitals, we'll have the what? Different types of hybridizations are possible. So now how to calculate that hybrid orbital? By this hybridization, which type of bonds are formed? You do remember by hybridization you are going to get only sigma bonds. Which type of orbitals are involved? All types of orbitals are involved in the hybridization. That is vacant orbital, single electron containing orbitals, paired electron containing orbitals. All atomic orbitals are involved in hybridization. There is no restriction at all. Okay na? So now we are going to see how to calculate hybrid orbital. If you know the hybrid orbital, then you can decide which hybridization it is. Is that clear? Now how you are going to get the hybrid orbitals? So we have different types of methods are there, shortcuts, tricks are there. In online you can see. But I will tell you simple trick. I will tell only one method. So I don't give you more than one method and to make you confused. So I am giving one method. So which is very easy one, well known one. If you know the electronic configuration, that's it. And if you are able to identify how many number of valence electrons are there, so that's it. You can do the more number of questions on this hybridization concept. Is that clear? Now you see here. So first hybrid orbitals. Based on hybrid orbital, what type of hybridizations are possible? We'll see. If we have the two hybrid orbitals, so it is sp hybridization. If we have three hybrid orbitals, so when we will get two hybrid orbital, one s orbital and one p orbital. That is what? One s orbital and one p orbital. Here which includes the one s orbital and one p orbital. So for that reason s power 1, p power 1. Three hybrid orbital means s orbital will be 1 and p orbitals are 2. That is 1s and 2p orbitals are involved in hybridization. So 4 hybrid orbitals are there means, so it will be what happens? sp3 hybridization, that is 1s orbital. Okay. So and 3p orbitals are involved. So that is sp3 hybridization. These three hybridizations are possible only in organic chemistry. So in organic chemistry what happens? In organic chemistry only these three hybridizations are possible. Okay, because so the carbon does not has the d orbital, due to that it is not participating dsp2 or sp3d or sp3d2. D orbital is not there. So d orbital will not participate in hybridization in case of organic compounds. In organic chemistry, in organic compounds. Now in inorganic compound, d orbitals are available, okay, in different elements. So if their d orbital is available, the d orbital is also participate in hybridization. If we have 5 hybrid orbital, there may be possibility of dsp3 or dsp2, sp3d hybridization. So in this case, one s orbital 3 p orbital and 1 d orbitals are involved in hybridization. So if we have 6 hybrid orbitals are there, then what happens? It may be possibility d2sp3 or sp3d2 hybridization. Now in this case, 1 s orbital, 3 p orbital, 2 d orbital. So and also if you are taking about 7 hybrid orbitals, so here what happens? sp3d3 hybridization it is. That is 1 s, 3 p orbital, 3 d orbital. Now you do remember here, so here d orbital is involving. In some cases it will be dsp3. Here also it may be possible in case of inorganic compound I am saying, that is sp2d or dsp2. Okay, now in some cases, so here sp3 or dsp2 or sp2d will be possible, sp2d. Okay, now in some inorganic compound. So those we'll see mainly in complex compound. Okay, so now here these inorganic compounds also we are going to see. Now here whatever the d orbitals are there, no, in these d orbital, so we have different types of d orbitals are there, dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, dz square. Which d orbitals are participating in hybridization here? Now this d orbital is there, no, in this case dx square minus y square orbitals are participating in case of dsp2 hybridization, that is square planar geometry. So in case of sp3d hybridization, here dz square orbitals are participating. So in case of d2sp3, 2 d orbitals, no, that is 1 dx square minus y square and dz square orbitals. These orbitals are participating in hybridization. In this case what happens? dx square minus y square, dz square and dxy orbitals. These orbitals are participating in hybridization. Is that clear? That you are going to see in what complex compound. You don't worry about that. So now how to calculate hybrid orbitals? Now point is how to calculate hybrid orbitals. So simple trick, it is a trick one. So I am going to tell only one trick. So we have different methods. So by calculating number of valence electron, dividing with 2 and dividing with 8, those all don't follow. And we have some formulas also, half into g plus m. So don't follow those all. So just you remember here, trick is what? Number of valence electrons. Okay, na? So hybrid orbitals, how you are going to get? So number of sigma bonds plus lone pair of electron. Number of sigma bonds plus lone pair of electron. Lone pair of electrons. Is that clear? Pair of electron. If it is 2 electrons are there, one lone pair we have to calculate. So this is the formula to calculate hybrid orbital. If you know the hybrid orbital, you can decide the hybridization. So how you are going to get the number of sigma plus lone pair of electrons? We are going to see now. Okay, na? So say for example, simple example I am taking, that is a well-known example, beryllium chloride I am taking. So here what is the central atom? Beryllium is the central atom. Okay, na? Now beryllium atomic number is what here? 4. So whose electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2. So how many number of valence electrons are there? 2 valence electrons. This is the valency cell. So which contains 2 electrons. So just simply you take the beryllium and you keep 2 dots. Just if you know the Lewis dot symbols. Lewis dot symbols, what they will say? They will say the number of valence electrons present in an element. Now here 2 valence electrons, just you keep 2. Chlorine is what? Monovalent element or divalent element? It is a monovalent element which can form only one bond. So then what happens? Each chlorine requires the one chlorine at one electron to form the bond. Here also this chlorine is also monovalent element will accept the one electron from the central atom, and divalent element will require the 2 electron from the central atom to form the bond. Okay, so that is what here 2 bonds are there. So how many sigma bonds are there? 2 sigma bond. So what is the use of this method here? So by using this method we can identify automatically lone pair of electron also. No need of using separate formula for the lone pair calculation. So that is what here 2 sigma bonds plus 0 number of lone pair of electron. So hybrid orbital is equal to how much? 2. So hybrid orbital is equal to 2 means which hybridization? sp hybridization. Is that clear? Very important one. Now I am going to tell you one more with a divalent atom, that is carbon dioxide. I am going to tell you. So in carbon dioxide, carbon electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So how many number of valence electrons? 2. Is that 2? No, it is not 2. So total of 4. Valence electron means you should not see the outer orbital. You have to see the valency cell, you have to see. So which is the valency cell? Second energy cell is the valency cell. Why we have to consider only valence electron? What the inner electrons? What about the inner electrons? Because the valence electrons are responsible for the chemical activity, and the chemical bond formation will involve only valence electron. Okay, na? So for that reason we have to count the valence electron. How many? 2 plus 2, that is 4. Keep the 4 dots. Now what is bonded atom here? Central atom is carbon. What is mean by central atom here? The atom which can form the more number of bonds in a molecule is called what? Central atom. Okay, now do remember that one. Now here what? The oxygen is there. 2 oxygen atom. Each oxygen is what? It is a divalent atom. So it requires the what? 1 oxygen requires the 2 electrons to form the 2 bonds. Now here 1 oxygen requires the 2 bonds. Now here in double bond, one will be sigma bond. That sigma bond is formed by hybridization. Pi bonds are not formed by hybridization. So here one sigma, here one sigma. So total number of hybrid orbitals are how many? 2 sigma plus 0 lone pair, that is 2 hybrid orbitals. So which hybridization? sp. One more example I will tell you, then we will go to the geometries of molecule. After that we will see more number of example. So now I am going to take the water molecule. In water molecule, so what is the central atom? Oxygen is the central atom. So oxygen contain, you no need of writing every time. If you know the number of valence electron, no need of writing its electronic configuration. So if you know the valence electron, okay na? So now oxygen belongs to 6th group. So it has the 6 valence electrons. I can take the what to 6 dots here. Okay. So each hydrogen require the water. 1. It is hydrogen is monovalent element. So it is 1 pair of electron. This is another pair of electron. Total how many lone pairs are there? 2 lone pairs and 2 sigma bond. So total hybrid orbitals will be what happens? 2 plus 2. That is 4 hybrid orbital. Hybrid orbitals are 4 means which hybridization? sp3 hybridization. Is that clear? So that is what hybridization, and how to calculate hybridization I told you. So different hybridizations are there. Now I will take one more here example. With that example, so hybrid orbitals, how they are arranged in a central atom, where the repulsions are minimum, at that position those hybrid orbitals will be arranged according to Vespar theory to get the proper shape of the molecule. Okay, so now we are going to see the arrangement of those hybrid orbitals. That is nothing but what? Geometry. Whenever the hybrid orbitals are arranged in a proper manner, we will get the geometry of the molecule. Now we will see some example here. In case of sp3 I am going to take. So here in sp3 I am going to take well-known example CH4. Now carbon contains the what? 4 lone pair of electron. It forms the 4 sigma bond with 4 hydrogen atoms. So 0 number of lone pair of electron, hybrid orbital is equal to 4 plus 0, that is 4 hybrid orbital, that is sp3. sp3 hybridization means 4 hybrid orbitals will be arranged in tetrahedral manner. Those tetrahedral hybrid orbitals will overlap with end-to-end overlapping with hydrogen atom. They will form the what? sp3s sigma bonds. This is about tetrahedral geometry of the hydrogen molecule. Is that clear? So this is a tetrahedral geometry of the methane. Now what about ammonia molecule here? Ammonia, central atom is nitrogen, which belongs to 5th group, so it has the 5 valence electrons. So now in this case what happens? 3 hydrogens, 3 sigma bonds, 1 lone pair. So total number of hybrid orbitals are how many? 3 plus 1, that is 4. So it is also showing the what? sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization here, But out of sp3, 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals, 3 hybrid orbitals are what are participating in bonding formation. One hybrid orbital contains the pair of electron which is not involving in the chemical bond formation. That is what non-bonding electron. Lone pair of electron is called what? Non-bonding electron, which is not participating in hybridization, which is located at only on the one nuclei. But bond pair of electrons are shared between the two nuclei, two atoms. Okay, now you see here, in case of ammonia also it should be sp3 means it should be tetrahedral. What happens? It's a geometry. So according to Vespar theory, due to presence of lone pair bond pair repulsions and bond pair repulsions in ammonia molecule, so its geometry changed to pyramidal shape. It's a geometry changed to pyramidal shape. This is what pyramidal shape. So it is an pyramidal shape. Is that clear? So similarly, you can take the water molecule. You can take water molecule. Here water also contains the water, oxygen contains. So 6 valence electrons. So now total of 2 lone pair of electrons and 2 bond pairs. It is also sp3. It should be tetrahedral. But what happens? Its geometry changed. Now I will write all the list of hybridization and what possible geometries are there. Those all I am going to give you here. So the geometries are very, very important. So which of the following are isostructural, they will say. Which of the following are having same number of hybrid orbital? So they will give the different molecules. Which of the following are having find the number of lone pair of electron. In matrix matching you will get. So many questions are expected from this hybridization. So in each and every competitive exam you are going to get the questions. Now one by one we are going to see list. So first we will see the what sp hybridization. So sp hybridization, what is the shape here? Linear. So the geometry of the molecule is linear and the bond angle between the what two hybrid orbital will be 180 degrees. So how it will be arranged? Say for example, here what we are taking beryllium chloride. Here this beryllium and the two hybrid orbitals are arranged this much. So these two hybrid orbitals are involved in end-to-end overlapping with chlorine atom and we are going to get the 2 sigma bonds. So the bond angle between these two will be what 180 degrees. Is that clear? So that is what linear shape. Bond angle is 180. Example BeCl2 carbon dioxide. We'll see so many number of examples. Just 1 and 2 I am going to say here. sp2 means what? Trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. So 3 hybrid orbitals are there. So how they have to arrange to reduce the repulsions? In a trigonal planar manner. So when they are arranged in trigonal planar, they are having bond angle will be 120 degrees. Example for this will be boron trifluoride. So you can take the boron trifluoride here. So this is a 3 hybrid orbitals which are arranged in trigonal planar and they are overlapping with end-to-end overlapping with these halogen atoms. They will form the 3 sigma bonds. The bond angle between these hybrid orbitals, angle between the hybrid orbitals or angle between the 2 bonds is called what? Bond angle, that I had explained you in the last video. So bond parameters, those who not watched, you can watch that bond parameters. Now here sp2 with what? 0 lone pairs. sp2 with a 0 number of lone pair. If it is sp2 with 1 lone pair, here 1 lone pair is there. Then what happens? It becomes what? Angular shape, angular, or it becomes what? V shape or bent shape. It is also called bent shape or V shape. Is that clear? So bent shape or V shape. You can take the SO2 molecule. In the SO2 molecule, what happens? So the sulfur contains the 1 lone pair and 2 sigma bonds. So for that reason it is sp2. Now how it is? It is in V shape. This is what? V shape. Okay now? So that is what a V-shaped molecule. Now what happens now? Next one, sp3 hybridization with 0 lone pairs. So it is a tetrahedral molecule. Tetrahedral molecule. Bond angle will be what? 109 degrees, 28 minutes. Okay now? So what is the example here? CH4, CCl4, those all you can take. So now in tetrahedral molecule what happens? So like this. So this is a tetrahedral geometry. It is an tetrahedral geometry. Is that clear? So now sp3 with one lone pair, what happens? Due to presence of, according to Vespa theory, the lone pair of electrons will occupy on the central atom more space when compared to bond pair of electrons. Just now I told you lone pair is located for the one atom, bond pair is shared between the water two atoms. Okay na? So then what happens? Lone pair will occupy more space, means which creates the more repulsions. Which has more fat, then he will occupy more space. Is it or not? So that is what which is occupying more space and will result in the what? More repulsions. Okay. So whenever the repulsions are increases, the geometry of the molecule will be disturbed. And also Vesper theory has given the order of the repulsions also. That is lone pair repulsions are more extent than the lone pair bond pair, after that bond pair. So now here tetrahedral, and with one lone pair, what happens, right? Its geometry becomes pyramidal. So example will be what happens, 107 degrees its bond angle. Example is ammonia. Just now I had given you the shape of the molecule like this. It is a pyramidal shape. It is a pyramidal shape. Okay. So next we are going to see sp3 with the two lone pair. sp3 with the two lone pair is called what? Angular shape, angular, or V shape or bent shape. Okay. So now 104 degrees approximately I am writing. I am not considering the minutes. So a best example is what? Water. In water what happens? Two lone pairs are there. Due to presence of these two lone pairs, the bond pair of electrons are strongly repelled by this two lone pair. Lone pair repulsions are there. Lone pair bond pair repulsion. That is what in case of sp3 hybridization. Is that clear? sp3 0 1 2 two lone pairs. So next we are going to see the sp3d hybridization, which is very important. Next we are going to see the sp3d hybridization. sp3d hybridization. In sp3d hybridization with the zero lone pair, its geometry will be trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. You can see here what happens. Example will be what? PCl5. Now here the phosphorus pentachloride will have the water trigonal bipyramidal. Three chlorines are present in equatorial position. The chlorines which are present within the plane, they are said to be what? Equatorial chlorines, which are perpendicular to the plane. The chlorine, two chlorines are what? Perpendicular to the plane. They are said to be what? Axial chlorines. These axial chlorines are having more bond length when compared to these equatorial chlorines. That you will going to see in 50A group. So you do remember here itself only. It is a trigonal planar and which has the what? Two pyramid. So trigonal bipyramid, no? So it is one pyramid. So it is a plane. To this plane it is perpendicular. Okay na? So it is a trigonal planar. So to this it is a axial chlorine. It is one pyramid it is formed. Another pyramid will be what? This is another pyramid. So this is one more pyramid which formed by the chlorine. So it is called what? Trigonal bipyramidal. Now what is the bond angle? Bond angles, two types of bond angles are possible. Here 120 degrees. In trigonal planar 120 degrees. So that to the trigonal planar these are perpendicular. So 90 degrees. Two types of bond angles are possible in case of sp3d. So sp3d with one lone pair. sp3d with one lone pair will have the what? Distorted tetrahedral. It is also called distorted tetrahedral. So it is well known. It is called seesaw geometry. Very, very important. Seesaw geometry. Now you can take here. You can take example is what? SF4 molecule. Here one lone pair will be there. 4 sigma bonds are there. So it will have the what? sp3d hybridization. This is a sulfur molecule. Now one lone pair will be there. No, that lone pair is occupying in the equatorial position. Now you see here, these are the two fluorine atom. This is one fluorine atom. sp3d means it is trigonal bipyramidal. Now this is one more fluorine atom. Okay na? So now how it is? It is looking like what? A seesaw geometry. It is looking like what? seesaw geometry. And that lone pair is present at what? It is lone pair is present at equatorial position. Equatorial position. So this I am doing the what? Just I am testing this one. So how it will be? Now you can take here 2 fluorines. So here 2 more fluorines. Now in this case I am taking the lone pair like this. So it is what? A seesaw geometry. It is a base. Okay, now say for example it is a base. It is a base. Now you are sitting here, your friend is sitting here. They will do seesaw geometry now. So seesaw. So one will go up, one will go down, another one will go up. Okay, now. So that is what it is, a base, and you are sitting here. So it is what? Center point. Center point contains the what? Lone pair. That is what? In equatorial position. Is that clear? So seesaw geometry. Is that clear? Very important one. So if it is 2 lone pairs are there, if it is 2 lone pairs are there, then it will have T shape. What shape? T shape. How it is T? So I am going to write this is T. So which has the what? 2 lone pairs. So this is what? T shape I am saying. But these lone pairs are there, no? These lone pairs are located in equatorial. These lone pairs are located in it is not equatorial. It is an axial position. Sorry, axial position. So here what? In case of T shape, the lone pairs are located at the equatorial position. Say for example here ClF3. So which contains the what? Cl is the central atom. Now these are the 2 lone pairs. This is 2 lone pairs. Now these 3 are the fluorine atoms. So how it is? When T is sleeping like this. Okay, na? When T is twisted. So then we are getting this one. So it is what? T shape. Is that clear? Important one. So next sp3d with 3 lone pair. sp3d with 3 lone pair. So its geometry will be linear. So that is which example it is? XeF2, which is very, very important. So here the 3 lone pairs are there, no? Where those lone pairs are present here, the lone pairs are present in equatorial position. Equatorial position. That position of lone pair is important. Now in XeF2, the 2 fluorine atoms are present in axial position. The lone pairs are present in equatorial position. The lone pairs are present in equatorial position. Is that clear? This is what? A linear shape. Is that clear everyone? sp3d. So next we are going to see the sp3d2 hybridization. sp3d2 hybridization. So try to understand these geometries. So then you can do the what? More number of easily. sp3d2 hybridization. So sp3d2 with a 0 lone pair. It is called octahedral geometry. Octahedral geometry. Okay, now. So here well-known example is what? SF6. You can take. So sulfur. So which has the what? 6. So it is what? Octahedral molecule. Octahedral molecule. Is that clear? So this is an octahedral molecule. So this is what? Octahedral molecule. Next, if it is sp3d2 with 1 lone pair. sp3d2 with 1 lone pair. Here it is what? Here we have the one example, that is a square pyramidal we are going to get. Square pyramidal. Square pyramidal. So example will be XeOFO. Now in this case, the xenon, the 4 fluorines are like this. Now one oxygen atom is here. The one lone pair is perpendicular to the what? The square. So it is called square pyramidal. It is called what? Square pyramidal. Okay, now or distorted octahedral. If you have 2 lone pairs, then it is said to be what? Square planar. Square planar. So square planar geometry example will be what? XeF4 you can take. XeF4. So xenon tetrafluoride. So in this case, xenon will have the what? 2 lone pairs. Those 2 lone pairs are perpendicular to the plane. So in XeF6, in SF6, so the bond angle will be what? 90 degrees. All will be 90 degrees. In this case, what happens here? You can take the 4 fluorines here. So 2 lone pair of electrons will be there. Is that clear? So next we are going to see the 3 lone pairs. Whenever 3 lone pairs are there, so is there possibility sp3d2 with 3 lone pair? There is no possibility. So next we are going to see the sp3d3 hybridization, that is pentagonal bipyramidal. It is pentagonal bipyramidal. So here we have 2 different types. Example will be what? IF7 you can take. So here I is the central atom. So pentagon you have to draw. This is pentagon. This is pentagon. So after that, so one more fluorine will be perpendicular to this pentagon. So these two, pentagon is what? It is a planar. The 2 fluorine atoms are perpendicular. When in pentagon what happens? Each bond angle will be 72 degrees and perpendicular one will be what? 90 degrees. Is that clear? So with a 0 lone pair it is. With 1 lone pair, so it is said to be what? A distorted pentagonal bipyramidal or distorted octahedral. Okay na? With 1 lone pair it is called distorted pentagonal bipyramidal. Distorted pentagonal bipyramidal. Now what is the example here? XeF6 you can take. So XeF6 which has the what? 1 lone pair. So here 1 lone pair is there. That lone pair is occupying here pentagon. Within the pentagon it will be. And the 2 more bonds are what? Occupying here. So this is what XeF6 structure. Distorted pentagonal bipyramidal. Is that clear? Now examples I am going to show you in the next video. In that next video, don't forget to watch that next video, because that next video includes so many number of examples and along with exceptions. So most important that one. Okay na? So if you have learned the geometries, then you can learn the examples. Then in place of example itself only I am going to show you how to calculate lone pair of electron geometry of the molecule. Those all I am going to say. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep watching Upper Chemistry classes. Thank you.